everyone. This is part two of the interview, over the phone interview with Erik Estavillo, and this is the guy who got his whole console banned from
Yeah.
Sony because of
They, well, the
well,
guy actually said when I called him, because I did call to talk about the ban, and he said like I'm like the first in history to get a whole console ban. I was like, well, I'm privileged, but I recorded that video, but I took it off since.
so so
I actually talked. Yeah, I talked to him before I sued him.
so
But
you
he
can
didn't want to.
confirm that you're the first one ever on the
Yeah,
PlayStation Network
yeah.
to get
I
a
was like,
console
wow.
ban.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
That's very interesting. Yeah, the original thing you said was $55,000, but you then moved it up to $180,000.
Oh yeah. Okay. Because the first case was federal, and because it's federal, you make a price, and so it's 55. And the second case is state case, Superior Court. So they're different. The one's federal and one's state.
Hmm.
And so the state case, I made 180,000. And you're asking why I tripled it, right?
Yeah, why did you go like all that far?
Higher. Well, a couple of reasons. One is because Richard J. Mooney of San Francisco, who Sony hired. I haven't got a word from Sony yet who they're going to hire this time. But Richard J. Mooney, he worked for eBay and Visa, and like he's one of the big time lawyers, right? So he represents the big time lawyers, and he wrote like in his opposition to my complaint that if you don't sue for more than 75,000, that the case shouldn't even be heard in federal court. So he was kind of like pushing me, saying, hey, you know, um, you got to ask for a lot of money if you want to be heard in court. Because I said I want 55,000, but he kept writing, oh, it should be 75,000 or more, judge. And so I said, all right, so I got to sue for more. That's one reason. Second reason is that um, the First Amendment is a tough one because I was trying to use the prune yard doctrine, which is a case prior to mine that says that on private property, it could be considered a public forum if you look up the prune yard doctrine. So that's something everyone should look up. That's where private property becomes public property. So that's and in California, it's one of the more liberal states, so it has that's where the Pruneyard doctrine was actually, the case took place. So my case, I have a stronger case of the First Amendment being on private property in California. So since my case is stronger, I kind of raise the price because I have a better chance of winning.
Mm. So you're kind of like evening the odds here.
Yeah, like if it was out of California, then I don't think I could use the Pruneyard doctrine. But since it is in California, I could use like a number of cases that says private property is public.
This is actually this is very interesting. Now, my
Yeah.
next question is, what happens if it all goes down the toilet? Then what?
Uh, give me down to it. Like if I well, funny. I actually, if I say I lose in the Ninth Circuit of Appeals, I'm gonna appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court, even though they see very few cases. Like the whole year, I think I don't know how many they see, but I think video gaming. I think they saw one about video games case in the last year. So video games is something they're likely to hear. So I'm gonna appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court if I lose the appeal in the Ninth Circuit. And the state court, if I lose in the state court, I'm going to appeal to the appellate state court. Maybe even eventually getting to the California state court. It's the California Supreme State Court. So I'm pretty much going to go to the top on each case.
And just to kill the
Yeah.
curiosity of what many gamers have been wondering about, since you're what you said, will you be wearing a Joker light suit
Ah,
during all of
yeah,
these
that was
cases?
no joke. Yeah, I'm pretty obsessed, and I do plan on it. Plan on wearing purple, yellow tie, mm, and I don't think I'm gonna wear makeup or green hair though. Maybe a little streak of green, but that's it. I'm not gonna make a. I don't want to make a mockery of the court, but at the same time, I'm gonna express myself because there's one. If you know, there's one girl who went to jury duty dressed up as a Star Trek new generation, next generation Starfleet officer, and she went to the jury, and the court didn't mind. So I think, pretty much dress up like the Joker.
Oh,
Watch
that
me.
if that happened, why not? You know.
I know. I mean, if they let that happen,
Okay.
the judge would just tell me to change anyway. That's the first day. He'll say, if you're not gonna change, case, I'll go. All right.
All right.
But
My
that's what I plan on doing.
my next question is that with
Yeah.
the second article that came out about you, you're trying to now use a another tactic of
Uh,
underage gamers
oh.
playing on the PlayStation Network for games like that are rated M for mature.
Yeah, I use that in both cases actually. Yes, one. It's an account I use the Anthem.
Some
And
it's
I noticed you said it was hard to prove that, right?
Yeah, it's hard to prove because it's all based on like the registration is easy. It's just basically what's your birthday, and that's about it.
Right, right. The registration, yeah, exactly. The registration is too easy. It's very lax, and that's what I write in my complaint. Laxed, like relaxed. And like you said, it is hard to prove, but I'm sure you've gone on the internet and there's age verification systems where they say, all right, you got to, I forgot what it's called, but I mean, there's a number of ways I think they could prove that a person's 18, maybe like with a credit card
Yeah, I know
or that,
some sites require a credit card and then a small charge or just a verification on that credit card account proving it's them.
yes, I think kids have to be at least, well, I don't know, at least 16 to get a credit card, right? I
Well,
don't know.
technically you can get a bank card which dubs as one. So,
Okay, yeah, yeah. Actually, I think that's something that the court will decide, not me. You know what I mean?
all right.
All I'm doing is bringing it to their attention. And I actually know two people. I actually plan on subpoenaing, using a subpoena on two kids. I know they're 13 and 14, and I plan on subpoenaing, giving them a subpoena, not them, but their parents, and just to prove that kids do play online without their parents' permission. And it's not going to be me that decides what the consequence, like PlayStation has to do. It's going to be the jury and the judge. So I don't really have. All I got to do is prove they go on, and the jury and judge decide if anything happens. Like, okay, Sony, you need to, get tougher or not. That'll be up to the judge and jury, not me though. I just got to prove it.
Hmm.
I think.
Still, some people do agree that the whole
Oh.
process of doing that is kind of like a all odds are against you type deal.
I know. Um, but that's just one count of three. And if I lose that count, I don't really mind too much. The other two counts are the big ones. The theft, the prepaid points, and the limiting of your free speech when there's a mute button. You know what I mean? People can mute me if they, like I said before, they can mute me if they don't like what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I mean, trash talk is like something I think people have to, the courts got to get involved because I think there's a lot of it and it's pretty, damaging. It's not like I always was a trash talker. I actually wasn't. I was very quiet until one girl one day said, I was running by, and my name was Oblivion, and I was running in resistance, and she said, Oblivion's an idiot. She said I was an idiot for no reason at all, and I go, huh. So I said, I'm going to let that go. But then I realized it bugged me for like 2 weeks, and it made me, feel bad. I don't know, it just bugged me. It made me angry. So it's like, I became her in a way, being angry. Well, not angry, but, talking crap. Like I wasn't going to take crap anymore, so I became the talker instead
Hmm.
of the person taking it. And I
Interesting.
think games these days have too many of me around, you know what I mean? Too many of trash talkers. So I think if this case gets high enough, the courts could kind of intervene and make it tougher on or make it, kind of, what I'm actually looking for is regulation of online video games, because there isn't any right now. And I think Sony has too much power. So I'm hoping the government regulates that online. You know how they're already regulating tobacco?
Yeah, yeah.
It just now they just have to regulate games.
All right.
Because I think, games are, like if you, for instance, Grand Theft Auto just came out. You remember the Ballad of Gay Tony? It's very, like there's sex and there's cussing. I mean, they're cussing more than I do. And I'm like, okay, if games are doing it, why are they trying to get on, what's wrong with me doing it? If games themselves are doing it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Interesting. Now we have to end the interview because we're
Okay.
going on to our third part of the interview,